Hi everybody, I'm Laurie from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, and welcome to the Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 70th, and the Bronx are fueled. It's time for the Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of Stubborn Monkey and a wizard called Gandalf. Featuring the sounds of the Glastonbury Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon the Music Maestro. Let's get ready to Loco!
A big hello! The Dukes of Mediocrity are in. So big hello to you. It's so great to see you, and I hope I find you well. It is, of course, Monday, and that means it is Monday Club, 7 p.m. UK time every single Monday. We just don't miss a week. It's really important to us because we know it's important to you. And a big, big thank you to Tim Krinsky, who straight off the bat went and gifted 50 channel memberships.
Thank you
so
much.
much. That's really generous of you. And anybody who's been gifted the Monday Club channel membership, then do make the most of it. It gives you, it gives you early access and free to the Friday video, and also your name in a natty colour and access to a whole load of custom emoticons. Oh. Hello? Yes? Oh. Oh, I see. Oh. Okay, I'll just put you on to Topsy Toaster. Oh. Okay. I'll let them know. Thank you very much. Now
What the hell was that?
Zoe, we just got an important phone call now. Try and keep yourself together.
Sorry.
So, right, we've just got some breaking news. I've been told on the finger phone by Rails that the Monday Club PAL brick is now sold out. So a big thank you to everybody who has supported the project, and it took a little bit longer to sell these out than last time, but it is it's been great, and I hope you guys are enjoying your Monday Club wagons. And we're going to be having a new announcement at Getz on the Saturday, nice and early. We will decide a time between now and Getz, but we will be announcing the next exclusive Monday Club product. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, thank you everybody who picked up a Monday Club PAL brick. Now, I do have I think I've got like 3 or 4, which I could be persuaded to sell at Getz if people are absolutely desperate. But do bear in mind that if you miss it, you miss out, just like the first one. But thank you everybody who has supported that. So who have we got in? We've got Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, James Petts, Retro Rambles, 156, Andrew, Patrick Ling, Clive Cobold, Tim's Mother Railways in different videos, Alan Pollock, Flammo Chairman 1, Valleys 56XX, who says all of mine are weathered by Iron Horse. Boom! And a big get well soon to Craig at Iron Horse Railways, who feeling a little bit under the weather, got not sure whether it's an ear infection or something wrong with a tooth, but certainly there's nothing worse, is there, than a throbbing pain sort of in your face, up into your ear and around your jaw. It really just sucks the fun out of things, so do get well soon. Got DJ K666, Annie 1962, Stefan Svensson, Hot Dog Pilot Andy, Zantec, Retro Rambles, Southern Train Girl, Richard Knowles, Clive Cobalt, Mark Towers, Ben Tullett, Richard Brighton says congrats on selling the wagon. So you're absolutely welcome. And did you manage to get one before they sold out? We've got Krista Duke, Thomas West, David Simpson, Jennifer Horton, Adrian Cooney, Adi Pullen, Darren Mould, and it's a good turnout actually. There's a lot of familiar names, a few new names there as well. And thank you so much for joining us. Now we're going to be going through some of the things that are in the news in a moment. But first of all, you may have noticed that we have been doing a giveaway competition, another one. And this is in conjunction with TMC, the Model Centre. Now, some posts have gone out on the various pages and groups that are necessary to get the questions. We're spreading the questions around a bit. So this is to win that GWR Green HST set. This is the all-new tooled version from Hornby that's currently in the TMC sales. So if you think, oh, I never win anything, or you just can't wait, then you can get yourself over to the TMC sale and pick one up right now at £130, I think it is, off the RRP. But we're going to be giving away just one of those GWR Green sets. But you need to, you'll see, you need to be, excuse me, dust.
It is a bit dusty today.
You need to be in the Jenny Kirk Monday Club Facebook group, which I know a lot of you guys are, but just in case anybody is not in there and is wondering, that is where the first question has now been posted. So you need to get that, work out the answer, and keep that handy. There is a specific email address for this, which is hstgiveaway, that's all one word, at jennifer-kirk.com. Now the second question is either just been or will be about to be posted on the TMC Facebook page. So you need to get yourself over there, like and follow that page, and that will give you your second question. And then the third question will be given out at the very start of next Monday's Monday Club live stream, and that will then allow for people to get all their answers collated and sent in, and we will start collating the draw from if we say after the first hour, and then that'll give us a full hour to collate the rest of the names. So the competition, the giveaway will close at 8 p.m. UK time next Monday, and then we're looking to do the draw in the following hour live on air. Now there are a couple of stipulations. Because of the huge costs of international postage,
I can't believe how costly
it's just gone through the roof. But what we've said is that whilst overseas viewers and Monday Clubbers can enter, we would ask that you be prepared to pay for the international postage. And I will warn you, it is hideously expensive, which is the reason that we've had to put this restriction in. But yeah,
it's unfortunate, but
yeah, unfortunately,
it's just how it is.
Yeah, I remember when it didn't cost this sort of money.
Yeah, I remember when it didn't cost me £40 to send a book. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's getting silly. So that's where we're up to. 3B Rail, big hello to you. Oh. Topsy Toaster says hello, 3B Rail.
Basically saying, hi Dad.
Hi Dad. So if you're wondering, Topsy Toaster is our co-host again this week. I've got some schmutz on.
He's been playing outside.
Has he? Oh, he's got some diesel stains on. Roger Wins, a big hello to you. Mike at Pudham Junction, Francis Wadsworth. Trains with Nick says, I'll pass on this one. I hate using Facebook, and it usually takes half an hour to find anything, even if you follow a direct link. It will just take you to the group page and have to search.
Yeah, it gets annoying with that.
It does, but unfortunately, that's the way we're running this giveaway competition. And it's to provide, the reason that TMC are doing this, it's to boost up support for their Facebook page.
And to just give away a nice little logo to people.
Absolutely, but we are going to rigidly stick to the rules on this one, I'm afraid.
Well, we have to, because it's not just us.
the other thing as well is don't just send like an answer to each question in turn. Any emails.
Because I tell you now, I'm the one that has to collate these, and I will miss it.
Not only that, it's the rules are quite plain. It's one email with all three answers in the one email. Otherwise, any emails that doesn't contain the answers to all three questions will not make it through.
Yeah.
So
you've seen how it goes with these things before, and it's a lot.
Yeah. Simon Train's Mother Hour showcases. Does Topsy Toaster waffle on about trains? He says yes. But, yeah, Alan Pollock says the cost is why a lot of people aren't sending items outside the UK. Yeah, I've noticed a few traders starting to say that it's just not economical. Katie Walker, big hello to you, says it went to Tings on Saturday. That's the international narrow gauge show. Would I be right in thinking? Or the international N gauge?
Yeah, there was the
International
N
Gauge Society. Says it's a tad warm. It's been hideously warm here as well, and it's the humidity that has been an absolute a killer, really.
Yeah, at least you, when you were out at work, got to sit in an air-conditioned cab.
Yeah.
I was up until 6:30 this morning working on a video.
What did you say, Topsy?
He says he doesn't care.
Yeah. He says, put your violin away. I'm good, thank you. So, Tim Krinsky says Hattons is very good with shipping prices. Yeah, I think some of the retailers are big enough that they've got a deal with a carrier. The problem we've got is we're limited basically to Royal Fail, and they're like, before we go to the paying in desk, let's go to the shove it up counter. And they do that hand action as well. It's like it's weird when you watch them. So if you're ever in the post office and the person behind the counter starts doing this to the person in front of them, you know that person is about to get stung. Wow, Retro Ramble says, speaking of says tasters, I think that should be toasters. I saw a WWE toaster advertised on Facebook. Oh,
the problem with the old WWE toasters is everything comes out raw. If you know wrestling, you know that's funny.
Yeah, Flymo Chairman 1 says a month's membership of Facebook and a profile pic are required before comments are visible to all, please. And please answer the questions. Yeah, we've become very strict on this because unfortunately there's been a lot of scammers starting to infiltrate groups. Since groups went private, and they had to do that because Facebook decided that they would let just anybody post in a group whether they were a member or not. A lot of groups had to go private, and now the scammers are infiltrating the groups by joining and then posting their scammy stuff. So we've started seeing a huge increase in this. You may have seen it in some of the model railway selling groups, with scammers starting to turn up and pulling the usual scams. I'm in a classic Volvo cars group, and we've had no end of scammers with stolen pictures trying to sell parts that don't exist and demanding all manner of deposits to secure the item to be paid by bank transfer and stuff like that.
It's been ridiculous.
Yeah,
but that's the nature of the world.
Does the retro gaming world suffer these fools as well?
We do not suffer them.
No, but you get them.
Oh, we get them, but every single retro gaming community is in a big group, and all of the admins talk to every other admin. We have lists go around of people, the usual aliases. These are the general pictures they use, and all of that. We all know. That's how you have to do it.
And David Scott, yes, when posting overseas, don't forget to mark the customs declaration as gift. And I suppose in this instance, it really would be a gift.
Richard Brighton says he can help see his previous post. I am looking for his previous post. When did you say it?
Yeah, could you? If it helps, Jenny, we can use our discounted shipping for people outside the UK. It will help quite a bit. So thank you so much, Richard Brighton from DCC Concepts. may be able to help. So that would be a good way. We will certainly, if we get an international winner, that could be a great way.
We'll work something out.
So I will add that to the post that's currently pinned, and I will let TMC know as well, so that they can let people know that there's access to discounted overseas shipping. But thank you so much for that.
What else is in the news?
Well, 57305 Northern Princess says, I want the West Ham United toaster that toasts WHU onto the bread. See, I mean, yeah. A Topsy toaster, I tell you what, there's an opening out there for a Tops toaster. Everybody has commented on this one. I want one. And I think that one of these that toasts the BR double arrow onto your bread would really go down well. You could imagine that mess rooms up and down the rail network would all be sporting a Topsy toaster in no time at all. Joshua W56, hello to you. Ivo Van Zon says AliExpress tried that tactic and failed. It's the other comment's gone off the top. Dongits Malaro says, friend of ours left some stuff here, asked us to post it to her to Australia. It was almost cheaper to fly it there ourselves. I know my sister spent she was out in Australia, I think it was about a year or so. And when she came back, she used DHL to send a box of bits and pieces back. And I'll be honest with you, it would have been cheaper for her to just buy another airline ticket and have it sat on the seat next to her. It was just unreal.
At some point, it actually becomes easier to commission your own boat and sail it there.
Yeah, and if you make it a really big boat, you can take lots of other people's stuff and charge them a more reasonable fee. You know, call yourself Maersk or something. I don't know, might catch on. Not So Salty Sea Dog says, is that you giving away the next Monday Club toaster before getting... No.
Topsy's staying here.
Topsy Toaster is part of the furniture now.
He's part of the family.
Yeah. So, Topsy...
I've got some googly eyes coming.
Oh, have you? Have you ordered some?
I ordered a pair of googly eyes. So he's going to have googly eyes and everything.
Yeah, look at that. He's getting really excited.
He's part of the family now.
Yeah. So big thank you to 3B Rail. You started something that you opened that box, didn't you? Let's see what's through the Topsy toaster door. Get back in. Oh, no.
It's a flood of toasters.
Yeah.
It's like the new Star Trek thing. Everyone today is talking about a character called Moopsy.
Who? What?
It's a small furry creature, and it's incredibly cute looking. But it drinks bones out of living people.
Oh,
and it's incredibly cute, and all it says is Moopsy.
Oh, I like that. Jerry BVR says, "Can't get rid of the host with the toast." Yeah, I love
the host with the most toast.
Yeah, the host with the toast. Topsy Toaster is really, really, really happy. He likes that. The host with the toast. We're going to have to add that into the intro, I think. The host with the toast, Topsy Toaster.
Oh, soon I'll have some time and we can do it. Yeah.
Trains, Kits, etc. says, when I moved to Australia, I reduced my possessions to a suitcase of stuff to avoid the cost of moving my things. Although it has to be said that up until a few years ago, just hiring a shipping container and moving everything in one go was arguably a much more cost-effective way of doing it. And the thing is that you could also take your car.
3B Rail, thank you.
Thank you so much, 3B Rail, for your generosity. Who's very kindly donated £10 towards the postage cost. Oh, you didn't have to, but thank you.
Thank you
so much. And Topsy Toaster is really quite happy at that. Basically, Topsy Toaster is like, what's that? Yeah, he says he'll get some good bread out of that. The Growler Blackwood Engage layout, big hello to you. Great to see you. Graham MCK says, or call yourself the RFA and use the BFPO. We always did that on overseas trips, especially sending the fags home. That's cigarettes for our overseas viewer.
Yes, it's not the other thing.
Wardle Road, big hello to you. It is great to see you, and I hope I find you well. Naive Gauge, we've got Mike at Putnam Junction, Keith Dawson, who says, thank you, Tim Krinsky, for my membership. Tim has been incredibly generous. That's something like the 5th time you've done that, and it is incredibly generous of you. So thank you so much. Now, what else is in the news? Well, you may have noticed that whilst you were at Tings sweating in the sweaty heat, and I bet you there were still people there in, dressed up like Kenny from South Park in the big puffer jackets and stuff. But it's a model railway thing. And whilst you were there, you might have noticed that Dapol have announced another run of the A3s and A4s in N-gauge, so they have been long awaited and are sure to be really popular because everybody loves an A4. What's that? Topsy says he doesn't. Oh, okay.
What's Topsy prefer?
Anything with a tops number.
Ah.
Right. And somebody will now chirp in and go, well, Vale of Ryedale locomotives were class 98. Topsy says there's always the exception to the rule, isn't there? Absolutely. Naive Gauge is answering somebody else. Smallwood Junction, big hello to you. New Junction, big hello to you. Great to see you and I hope I find you well. And what else is in the news? Dapol, sticking with Dapol, we've also got the O-Gauge TTA has been announced as being en route. We've also, actually, the elephant in the room, or at least the strange-looking austerity tank-style pannier tank in the room, is the 15XX from Rapido has just been released. We've also had word that the second batch of Manners from Accurascale are a couple of weeks out. I did see some retailers jumping the gun a bit and saying that they were expecting them this week, but they may have been getting confused with, apparently there's the next 2 Class 37s are due out as well. So you're about to see the all-new Rapido 15XX review sample going around the top of the layout there, just seeing it in the background. And I have to say that it is a superb locomotive, and this is it's quite, to call it a pannier tank is weird. It's not, you look at it, you go, pannier tank? Oh, I suppose it is. It's a bit of an odd one. It looks more like a USA dock shunting tank. Oh my word, thank you so much to Richard Brighton, who has very kindly donated £10 on the super chat. It says, shameless plug for our new modern platform stuff from West Hill. Did you get some samples to play with? Yes, thank you, Richard Brighton. They did arrive. We've been away actually over the weekend, and they arrived just before we left. So thank you so much for those. We will be doing a little video on those. I might do a little project to do a little sort of photography plank, actually, maybe to photograph some of the more modern locomotives and stuff that comes for review. But thank you so much for that. Yeah, New Junction, aka Richard Watson, says it is fabulous stuff. Yeah, the modern image platform stuff, and it's got all of the different bits and pieces you need to make up a modern style station platform with all the accoutrements like working lamps, CCTV cameras, loudspeakers, the works. So definitely a really interesting range. There's some great stuff coming through from West Hill Wagon Works. What are we looking at?
Manufacturing's coming back to Britain.
Huh. And this is interesting. Not sure whether we got some verification on this yet, but according to this, it says the UK has leapfrogged France to become the 8th largest manufacturer in the world. With an annual output of £224 billion, the buoyant sector now supports 2.6 million jobs, according to new data released this morning by trade association Make UK.
So that's interesting.
It is, and I suppose that Daypole
It's coming home.
yeah, it's coming home. Might have lost its keys, so it'll be a little while on the doorstep rummaging about looking for the spare ones. But Daypole, of course, do manufacture an awful lot of stuff here in the UK, as do Pico too. In fact, Pico manufacture everything apart from the locomotives that they're doing in conjunction with Kato. Wardle Road says, how long until West Hill Wagon Works 3D prints some 1-to-1 scale station accessories? Well, I don't know.
Well, they could probably do it now, but you have to do it in pieces.
Yeah, and that was something actually Model U. Again, great range. You can also buy a Mini Me. There's also a Mini New Junction as well, which you may have seen in that lovely video that we did.
Where is he on the layout? You put him in, haven't you?
No, I haven't put him in yet.
I thought you had. Oh,
He's in the box there. He's catching a bit of shade.
I spent minutes painting that for you.
Yeah. Roger Wilson Home says, my Acura Scale 37608 Andromeda must be coming soon. Yippee! Let's Make Track says, fat fingers are no good for this keypad.
It also happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good you are at typing, you will spell things wrong.
Tim Growler, Blackwood Engage Layout says the platform is also in N. Yeah, and that's one of the things about the 3D printed ranges. The quality of the stuff is getting better and better all the time. The ranges are getting bigger and bigger, but they also cater for a lot of different scales. So gone are the days, really, where it'd be like, oh, I wish they'd do that in my scale. And, you know, they do. Yeah. They do TT, N, O, O gauge. There's a whole range of stuff. And to be honest, if you ask them nicely, you'd probably find that they could do the scale that you want. You know, if you model something a little bit different, like S gauge or S scale, then they'd probably be able to print you one off if you asked really nicely.
Talking about scales, I did like that guide in the Hornby TT120 membership magazine, where they said how to use all those things where you can download the pattern and print it.
Yeah.
How to scale it.
Scale scenes do that. Barry Wendon says, hi Jenny and Zoe, just to let you know, I have ordered from War World Scenics, the workstation that you streamed the other day. Oh, brilliant. I hope you do enjoy that.
I like that, I have to admit.
I like making stuff as well, so stuff like that, like slotting them together.
Even though you did it upside down.
Yeah, I have fed back about the instructions on that. But
you know, when you get yours and it has written on it, Jenny, this way up,
will
you know why.
Right. I've just missed the other one that you highlighted because you wouldn't shut your flappy pie hole. Your flappy toast hole. So, Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says, any mention of the box file diorama challenge?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this box file diorama challenge, are you not going to enter this? This would be a great way if you actually doing your N-gauge layout.
I'm not going to enter any contest that has any association with us.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
It looks wrong if I do. So I encourage everyone to join in, but
you could shadow the competition.
Yeah, I might do one alongside, but I won't be entering because it would just look weird.
It has opened up. You have to go to the Friends of Not Lobia Facebook group. I'd love another lolly, please. So that's where all the information is being posted. Big hello to J94. Wardle Road says, Mark Wilson, I bet there's more lurking. Mark Wilson, he's probably... Topsy Toaster says that Mark Wilson clearly must have a DeLorean in his garage. Maybe he's been out waxing the DeLorean, so it slips through...
to our jokes.
Yeah, so that the idea is that... if you get a good coat of wax on the DeLorean, it slips back in time a lot better. Peachy TT120, big hello to you. Right. What else have we got? Sarah Davies, big hello to you. We've also got Going to the Dogs. So it's evening all what's going on. Well, we're just running through some of the news. We're also sweltering up here, it has to be said. Still really humid here in the UK. Now, for any of our overseas viewers, what you have to remember about the UK is that we don't tend to have air conditioning. It's a bit of a newfangled thing. Even cars. It was highly unusual up until probably about 15, 20 years ago for your car to actually come with air conditioning. They were available. It was available in more upper the price tag kind of vehicles, but actually quite an unusual option. Certainly the Volvo 850 I've got from the 1990s, it was available with air conditioning, but most of them never had it because of the expense, I guess. So houses don't have air conditioning. We just don't. We just haven't cottoned on to this yet. So we have to use fans, and we just end up melting in the summer these days because it's just getting hotter and hotter. So at the moment we are sweltering. So if I look like I'm glistening, then that's just the heat. Jerry BBR says, although it might curdle in this weather, oh god, yeah, and you need your refrigerator. To be honest, need those big American style walk-in refrigerators so I could walk into it, sit down and read a book whilst I cool off. It's one of the, it's many years ago I had a summer job at the Nicer Today's cold store depot in Burslem, Stoke-on-Trent, and just a summer job between 5th form and 6th form to earn a bit of cash, which ultimately went towards buying my first computer back when computers were really expensive. But we used to cool off by wandering into the freezer, and we'd be there like shorts and t-shirt in the freezer, just cooling down. And there are all these people wandering around dressed like Eskimos, because obviously they were working in there. James says that as a Scottish person, we are definitely not made for the heat. We are made for rain. Yeah, waterproof heads, really useful, but not so good in hot weather. So the lollipop of choice is Cheapy Cheap as
Co-op rocket lollies.
Co-op rocket lolly. Oh.
So Jen, do we have any more news?
Samtech says, what was that place you did the summer job at? It was the Nicer Today cold store distribution centre, and it's gone now. They moved to somewhere else. It went from being a company called XL Logistics that ran it to they were bought out by DHL. So there is a distribution centre, but it's elsewhere in Stoke-on-Trent. But it used to be in Burslem, and it was in the old Co-op bakery, and that's where I worked in the 90s. Naive Gage,
Yes.
Naive Gage, welcome to Jenny Kirk membership. Thank you so much for joining. Graham MCK says, we had our milk delivered on Tuesday last week. We was away for a long weekend, didn't return till the Thursday. Not on person, even checked the door to see if we was okay. The milk was like cheese. Oh god, I bet it was in this weather. Oh, it'd have been like lumpy cottage cheese.
Sounds lovely.
Oh, Oliver Farmer says, sorry, I am late.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they need to.
Thanks Gandalf. DJ K666 says, I love the strawberry split lollies. Oh, there are some lovely lollipops, aren't they? We're becoming, in the UK, we're becoming connoisseurs of lollipops these days.
Lollipop, lollipop.
Oh.
We're not going to get a copyright strike.
Topsy Toaster says, we'd be lucky, actually, if we got a copyright strike from where you sing. Right.
Jen.
What?
Is there anything else in the news?
We've also had some special commissions get announced. So I think, do excuse me if I get the shot wrong. I think it's AGR Models have announced a Pico 009 wagon, I think it is, in Royal Mail livery. It's one of the 009 vans, but done up in Royal Mail livery. Is their latest exclusive, which is apparently selling out really quickly. And we've also got the TMC Autumn Sale, which includes the HSTs that you saw reviewed on this channel last week, and they very kindly allowed us to give away the green GWR one. We've got the full shebang of what you need to do to be able to get hold of that for free. It's in the Monday Club Facebook group. You also find information on the TMC Facebook page. So what else is in the news? There's the Dapol O-Gauge TTAs are en route, and also an announcement from Dapol of a new run of the A4 and A3 locomotives. Although, funnily enough, also doing the A10 version of Flying Scotsman. Now, if you're wondering about that, originally the A3s were A1s until they were rebuilt, but there was this sort of crossover period where the new A1s were introduced and they took the A1 classification, so they moved the unrebuilt previous A1s to category A10. So if you ever hear people bandying about an A10 locomotive, that's what they were. Mark Towers says TPE are taking the Class 68 and Mark 5s into store. Naive Gauge is my own channel recently grew to the point where I got a few pounds a month from YouTube. I've taken a membership to start giving a little back to some who have encouraged me. Oh, thank you so much. That is incredibly generous of you. And it is great to see people build up and become more and more successful, because we all started out small at some point. In fact, I was watching a lovely interview with one of the biggest car YouTubers on YouTube, and he was talking about how he started. And it's actually quite interesting, because I think there's a tendency among some YouTubers to try and pull the ladder up after them, and they try and keep it very exclusive. They don't want anybody else to build up and rival them. But one of the things that we've been very big on here is to make sure that we
don't do that.
We're a community thing here, so
yeah.
We're always happy to big up other people. Rick Morley asks, how's Iron Horse? He posted he was unwell. He's been struggling for a couple of weeks with a niggly, he thought it was toothache, but it might actually be an ear, nose and throat infection. You've got the eustachian tube, there we are, every day's a learning day, isn't it? The eustachian tube that connects your ear, your nose and your throat all together. If you get an infection in that, it's blooming painful, and it's sometimes very difficult to actually track down what it actually is, because you think it's toothache, it could be jaw ache, it could be earache. So he is very unwell at the moment, so we do send him our best.
And
so,
if he finds his ears are burning, it might be because we're talking about him, it might not be.
Yeah, might not be the infection. Wardle Road says, YouTube is paying pretty okay for me at the moment. Very grateful. Not everyone's interested in standard games, so channel may well have sunk. No, actually, it's a great channel. Been loving following your work with the ventilated van, the guards van, and the little Ruston as well. Now,
we have a theme today, don't we, Jeff?
Oh yeah, apparently we've got a theme.
Is heat bad for your model railway?
So, as we sup away at our lollipops, we thought that actually it might be quite apt to talk a little bit about how heat is affecting. Actually, can you talk to people, because I'm dripping?
Yeah. So we've had a lot of heat here recently, and I know that model railways are also popular in countries where heat is just a general thing you have to live with. So I thought, given that we've now had a bit of experience with it, it might be worthwhile talking about this and what we can do about it.
And particularly if you're somewhere like the UK, where we're starting to get hotter and hotter summers, and traditionally we don't have air conditioning, and we've got some of the worst insulated houses certainly in Europe. And that means that in summer they can get quite hot as well. Now, luckily, this house put a lot of effort into the insulation. So, insulation not only keeps you warm in winter, but cooler in summer. But I have seen posts online from people saying that their train lofts are pushing like 50, 60 degrees. People talking about buckling track, and it's a very real thing. It happens in the real world with heat, but it can also happen with your model. Now, that's why expansion joints are just as important in model railways as they are in full-size ones. Iron Horse Railways has popped in. His ears must have been better.
There you go.
Sorry, because I've been talking and not licking my lolly, it's starting to drip and I'm getting sticky fingers. So I'm trying to encourage the monkey to actually talk, but she's just looking at me like...
I had a mouthful of ice, I couldn't do it.
Dead air. I'll see where this goes, shall I?
I couldn't help that. At my model railway club, they have rails that ride on top of each other to fix this. We have 3mm gap pieces between pieces of track. Rails that ride on top of each other.
It's like an expansion gap.
It's interesting. So they can slip and slide.
Yeah.
Slip and slide.
Sarah Davis says his ears were burning. Yeah. Tim Kruski says South Texas equals winter hot, summer hotter. Trains in AC.
Yeah.
I think if you're already in somewhere that's a very hot or humid location, generally speaking, you tend to have already got air conditioning and stuff,
Yes.
which makes houses so much more bearable.
Yes. So, Walter Road has said, Zoe, have the thumbnail changes made a difference? Be interested to hear if it's had an effect. It's too early to say for certain, but we have definitely noticed an increase in traffic. So, I think it's working, but I want a couple of months yet to get some longer stats and check on the data. But yeah, it does seem to be.
I'd say it is. I'm noticing a lot more comments from new people who found the channel for the first time. And like behind the curtain now on YouTube, if you're interested in like the some of the secrets of YouTube, we think we may have stumbled across one of the ways that boosts your video traffic. One of the little bits that they never tell you about in YouTube about the design of the thumbnails. Now, if you've seen our thumbnails over the last couple of weeks, you'll have noticed that the designs have changed, and it's you designed them.
It's a big, strong, eye-catching colour in the background, and I tried a solid black with very bright things in front of it, and it doesn't work. Seriously, it just does not work. But a bright, eye-catching colour in the background, and then a large image and bold text, that seems to work. But don't make it too busy. You want bits that pop out.
Absolutely.
And it's not just because people will see it. Here's the thing. The algorithm can read what's in images.
Yeah.
And if the algorithm attaches some value to that, it will push it. But here's the other thing.
Yeah.
You want as well some way of linking your videos to your other videos.
I know, Topsy, she won't let me talk before it goes
finish
off the
this. A
screen.
tag or two that will then link your videos together. So you say Jenny Kirk review or Jenny Kirk information or something like that. And if it's in more than one thing, you will then have your next videos or your previous videos in the recommended list down the side. That also boosts your traffic.
James says in Asia they have ceramic flooring to help with the heat. Now, if you want to have cool floors in summer, then big, thick concrete slabs do that quite well because they act as a massive heat sink. Unfortunately, being a temperate climate, that means you'll have really cold floors in winter. So unfortunately, in the UK, it's generally better to have insulated floors. Otherwise, you will have a horrible winter time. So unfortunately, not really an option over here. Now, Peachy TT120 says, Jenny, do you fancy offering up a YouTube clinic like Charlie Chadwick has? I haven't actually seen what he does with that, so I don't know what he does. Just bear in mind that we put out at least two, often 3 or even 4 pre-recorded videos a week. We're some of the most prolific YouTubers. It just kind of crept up on us over 10 years. But we've got over 1,500 videos, and I don't think anybody else is even close to that. Also, We do the live stream every Monday, and we've got multiple channels, so do check out the JK2 channel. But I don't think I just can't have the time to look at individual videos and provide feedback.
The fact is, it would cost far too much if you were having to charge for this. You would have to charge something that was ridiculous, and people wouldn't pay it, and rightly so, because you have to then take time out of your work.
But certainly, somebody suggested it's gone off because the screen because Zoe wouldn't.
Here, you take this.
No.
Right.
No, don't scroll. It's like I can remember what it was. Just can't remember who posted it. Saying we should do a YouTube for newbies video. And I'll be honest with you, I'd love somebody else to do that who knows all the tricks of the trade, because nobody's told us. We're just peeing in the wind here.
The problem with doing a YouTube for newbies video is that by the time you've finished researching it, everything's changed. Because they're always changing. It's so hard to get. But find the
thumbnails, we appear to have cracked something, because we're getting a lot more traffic, a lot more new people finding the channel, which is very, very important. And whilst I've noticed these days, people don't tend to subscribe as much. There's a lot more people who just flit around, but just won't subscribe. But they are watching stuff, so our views
don't need
are going
to as much. This is the weirdest thing. The algorithm, it really loves subscribers. It loves subscriber counts, it loves comments, it loves likes. However, it also, if you watch one video from someone and then maybe watch another one and that comes up in the recommended list from the same person, it will then start pushing those to you on your front page. So you don't have to subscribe, even though it's actively penalising the channel if you don't.
Can I just say, right, so again, let's step behind the curtain a little bit. What does Jenny do on a YouTube channel when she's not making videos? Well, actually, she watches other YouTube videos. And what I've noticed is that it's very easy to suddenly find yourself stuck in a rabbit hole where all YouTube will recommend to you is stuff you don't want to watch. And anybody else got there. I find it really irritating. It's like, sit there and go, come on now, YouTube, entertain me, but I don't want to watch endless conspiracy theory videos and MSNBC news clips.
I know exactly why you're getting those.
What?
Because you've been following the Trump trial.
Yeah, I've been following the Trump trial,
how...
and so it's like it's decided you might want to see everything that MSNBC puts out, and a few cranks as well who are like they're like, we're just taking time out from underneath the tinfoil hat to tell you, and it's like, oh my god. But you then get stuck in this little rut where you can't find the content that you really would like to watch.
Yeah.
One of the big issues, I also get like car crash videos. It's like I despise all this stuff that's being punted at me, but yet you just go, oh, I see you've clicked on don't show me videos from this channel again. That's an interaction there for you, and it's like
your biggest problem is you watch car repair and maintenance videos.
Yeah.
So of course YouTube thinks, well, wouldn't you like to know how they needed repair?
Adrian Cooney says, yeah, the dreaded YouTube loop. Absolutely. You know, I watch a few videos. I'm like, I've got a repair to do on my car, so like I'll have a look and see if somebody's done that. And it's like, oh, wouldn't you like to see how people got their car in that state in the first place?
No, I wouldn't, because I've got a car in that state. I'm perfectly aware of how it happened.
Stephen McGlay says, good morning from New Zealand, early, late.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Hello, Topsy.
David Scott says, a well-known supermarket had problems with the floor in their freezer warehouse. The engineers found they had not turned on the underfloor heating to save money. Why would you, if you're in the freezer warehouse, why would you turn on underfloor heating?
That's a bit weird. Hanning's Rest Model Railway says, I have a mobile phone to make videos. No editing software or computer, no lighting. Mainly to invest to help me make slightly better videos. Talk to Iron Horse. Iron Horse makes his videos on his phone. He's got the software on the phone, and his stuff is great. So you don't need to invest in a huge amount of stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, I must admit, I am a little bit intrigued how he does it, because he does get great results. Now, Rich says, this is going back to the YouTube thing, says, erasing recent history helps. I'll have to look into it.
That is true, yeah.
Naive Gage says, YouTube needs to provide a button to cleanse your watch history and start again. Yeah, stop you from going down that rabbit hole, and you think, hold on, I'm subscribed to a load of channels. Why is it not actually suggesting their content?
Because they're in the subscriptions tab.
Hanning's Rest Model Railway says, I only have a mobile phone. Oh, we've already read that. Harris says, hello, sorry, what have I missed so far?
Oh, many things. But Gandalf...
Yeah.
Oh, yes. A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
You're welcome.
I've been
So, in the meantime, while Jenny is looking for something, we have an update, don't we, on what's going to be on JK2. So, once I've got the video that I'm planning this week...
Can I just thank Mark Wilson, who has very, very kindly sent £10 on paypal.me. And there is a note. Says, a note from Mark Wilson. He says, Blue Diesel stuff only. I can go with that. Oh, you've made Topsy Toasty really excited, because Topsy likes Blue Diesels with a Tops number on the side. Although a little bit of a secret love is for BR Green Diesels, but still with a Tops number.
So, like I was saying, with JK2, we're building that channel up as well at the moment. And what's going to be on there, after I've done the pickups video from Rails, which I didn't have an ability to do last week, we're going to start planning and then putting together that box file layout, aren't we? We've got the little things now.
Oh, just a quick one. Francis Wadsworth says, good night, Jenny and Zay. Good night to you. We are aware it is a school night for a lot of people. So, and I say that tongue-in-cheek. I know that there's a lot of adults as well, but adults tend to say, it's a school night, I've got work in the morning. But you take care, and we will catch you next week.
So, I'm going to start putting together the next stage of our project, which is, of course... project. What am I on about?
Yeah, what are you on about?
The next part of the show is what I actually meant. Next stage of our project. What is it? The Monday Club project? We can't tell you about the Monday Club project.
Project Monday Club.
Because it's secret. It's certainly not anything to do with the rocket.
Yeah, Wardle Roads. Oh, sorry. Dion Wollaston. I'll just get to that. It says, hi, ladies. Good evening. I'm late.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons.
Yeah, stop it scrolling.
Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Right,
You're
Wardle
welcome.
Road says, I've decided my Ruston will be... What have you done?
Nothing.
Will you stop messing about?
I haven't done anything.
I've decided my Ruston will be green, but yet to decide what shade. Have you not
Orange.
thought about giving it a 97XXX number, and then might make it maybe a departmental one? You could have like full wasp stripes and everything.
You're departmental.
The whole system's departmental, right? Anyway,
This elevator conspiracy goes right to the top.
Yeah, okay. Anfield Road layout in the loft says, hi, model train crew. Hello.
Hello.
And Aaronville says, question, I'm new to modelling. For the setting of expansion track, do you have a 2mm gap between the rail connections and do you not push them fully together, still using the fish plates? Right. This is where, certainly if you are using DCC, it's quite important to get track droppers. You can't really rely on your fish plates 100% to transmit the power. You know, it'll kind of work. Probably will work quite well for the most part, but it will build in potential unreliability otherwise. But what you need, and I tend to use, if you get yourself, I'm just seeing if I can find one here. So, come here, you.
What are you doing?
A steel ruler. What I tend to do when I lay track, to get a really good expansion joint, I think 2mm might be a bit too much because you'll end up with trains going thump, thump, thump. And just remember that when it gets cold, it will shrink as well, so you could end up with some really quite large gaps, and you may even find it pulls out of the fish plates if you're not careful. So I use a steel ruler like this, and I place that between the rail ends, push the track together. So this then creates that gap. And then when you fasten the track down, there's your ready-made gap. However, if you're laying your track on a day where it's like 48 degrees in your loft, you hero, how did you manage to do that without suffering major dehydration? But you may find that if you're laying track on the hottest day of the year, you probably shouldn't put expansion gaps in, because that's as expanded as your track would ever be. So do also think about what temperature your model railway is at when you're laying track. If it's incredibly hot, you don't really need that much in the way of expansion gaps. But if it's incredibly cold, you need maximum expansion gaps, because sorry, no, Zoe, you did something which I really I can't stand brushes getting crushed, and you were crushed.
I didn't realise.
Okay. Right, and in 1962 says, best not to let you know you dislike certain types of videos. They definitely see this as an interaction and send you more invites to watch. Absolutely. Right, Mark Wilson says, green diesels are acceptable if they've got a tops number. Oh, Topsy Toasty does approve. And actually, BR Black with a tops number. What's that, Topsy? Topsy Toaster says that, now there's an interesting one. Hey kids, can you name any locomotives that remained in BR Black but received a tops number? I know of two.
Frank, Jeff and Nigel. I've named them.
Oh, yeah, but that's three. That's like... but...
You asked me to name them. I gave them names. Frank, Jeff and Nigel.
The final remaining Class 01s on tops... Oh, Topsy Toaster's getting excited because we mentioned tops. Are you alright over there? What are you trying to do?
I was bringing up the monitor so I could make sure that everything was okay on the stream while we work on the videos.
Okay, we'll just place it there. Move your Coke out.
I've got it set up.
Okay. Right. I've lost my place now. Yeah, I think there was some Class 08s as well, which got BR Black, and kind of they gained wasp stripes and a tops number. I think at least one gained a tops number and wasp stripes. Yeah,
Mike at Putnam Junction says roof of the TARDIS under the signal gantry. Well, I'm going to shock you here because they're in my hand, both of them.
Yeah, because the monkey, the monkey forgot to place them.
No, I did it on purpose so that people would not be able to find them, and then it would keep engagement.
Right, Naive Gauge does make a really good point here. It says if you add a dropper to the underside of the rail, then just remember it restricts which end of the rail can expand. So I suppose by and large, if you're going to put a dropper to a length of track, solder it in the middle, because then it's unlikely to restrict the expansion at either end. But that is a really good point, actually. Flymo Chairman 1 says, oh, my pet hate is corn flour in a plastic bag. Mysterious Mechanic 24 says, TARDIS! Peter Jackson Cheadle here says 40106 stayed in BR green with tops number. Yeah, 25102 stayed in two-tone green with the tops number until I think the early 80s. There's certainly quite a few locomotives. There's quite a few Class 25s as well. I think 25043 stayed in plain green with full yellow ends, but with a tops number for a while. Lost my space. Oh, right. Roger Windsor says, use Blinami and not the HM7000. No power to track needed. Dead rail system. Yeah, it's an interesting point. You can actually use a DCC decoders powered from a battery, and it's an interesting point that you could, I guess, use a rechargeable 9-volt battery. Now, it would limit maximum power, obviously, to 9 volts rather than, say, 12 volts, but you can actually power a DCC decoder that way, and as Roger Winter says, have a dead rail system, which basically means that It doesn't need the track for power, and with the Bluetooth decoders, you've got your alternative way of controlling them. Retro Ramble says, I've got Disco Crisps. I didn't even know they still made those. Do you remember Discos?
They're the ones that when you open them up, the big glittery ball comes out.
Well, and it just goes...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you hold the packet up and it's like... So there's some kind of techno beat coming out of this. Robert Davies says 106. TARDIS near the tunnel, says Ruben Eshwell.
Not near.
No, they're just guessing because they
Not
saw
near.
your hand moving about.
It's not near.
Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says, sadly, mentioning Class 180, my comment won't be going nowhere. Must have missed your comment. Xantec says, a few of the Woodhead 76s retained their old crest with a tops number. Yes, 76026, I think, was one of them. It's been... Particle Hill Station says, you could solder long lengths of track where possible, reducing the number of gaps and the need to cut to facilitate curves. Bear in mind, if you solder all your track together, there's no expansion, which then means that it can actually unpeel itself from the track bed. It's something which I have seen happen. Remember, the plastic base can only hold so much pressure in it. If the track tries to expand, something will give. If anybody did in physics at school, they called it the pin breaker. Did you ever do that experiment?
No.
And what it was a big clamp with a big thick rod, and then it was like a screw thread, and then at the end you could put a little mild steel pin like a nail through a hole, and that would then hold the thing from being able to pull back. You then heat the big bar up with Bunsen burners and it would expand, and then you keep tightening it so that it was tight on the mild steel pin, and then after a while, once it expanded as far as it was going to do, you'd then stop heating it and you'd tip a beaker of water over the main thing, and it would snap a really thick mild steel bar, and we called it the bar breaker. And it was an experiment to show how much expansion happened. What's wrong?
I'm not doing well with this heat.
Okay.
No, I've got the thing tilted right in my face. That's why I'm sat here. You don't need to do it. Put it back on you.
Okay.
Seriously, put it back on you. You're blowing hot air.
You're blowing hot air up my ass. Right.
I'm trying my best to hold it together.
Brian Bell says, good evening, Jenny and the Cupboard Monkey. Very sorry for the late arrival, but I've been to one of my model rail clubs.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons, nor are they early. Hi, Topsy. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Naive Gage says, at Tings this weekend, I saw a layout that had a model of the local shop from the League of Gentlemen on it. I imagine it was only for the local people. I think you might be right on that. David Scott says, I remember that bit of kit. Brian Bell says, away with friend's wife's funeral stay. Oh, so sorry to hear. Mysterious Mechanic 24 says, I'm sorry, TARDIS, but put her in front of a train. What, the TARDIS? Oh, that's a bit... Oh, can you just make sure that the thing comes up? Oh, Raymond Legs, that's a bit of a blast from the past. Disco Duck. Oh, no, surely it was Doobie Duck. Doobie Duck's Disco.
Disco Duck Truck.
Oh, yeah, it was like a song.
Oh, no, the song was the Disco Duck. You do the Disco Duck.
Oh, yeah, it's like a little bit of dad dancing going on.
Yeah.
Right, Mark Wilson says, thing is, the Cupboard Monkey, let's not forget, is covered in thick fur. It's oh yeah, that is actually good. Aaron Vale says, put ice in a bowl, blow air over the bowl to get cool air. We did used to do that. We'd freeze a big Coke bottle full of ice and put it in front of the fan, and we seem to have forgotten about doing that for a while. Let's Make Tracks says, I'm not saying it's hot, but two hobbits just threw a ring into a yard.
Yeah.
I think Gandalf would have something to say about that. What's that, Topsy Toaster? He's saying it's so hot he doesn't have to do anything to be the host with the toast. Warbler Productions, a big hello to you. This is TARDIS at... TARDIS
Oh,
at...
Jen, you had to pick that particular image where the bloody TARDIS is right in shot.
And Brian Bell says, wonderful view of the 15XX Loco. Absolutely. It is actually the round robin review sample. So if you're wondering, why has Jenny got it early? Well,
You didn't. You've got to pass it on to the next one.
well, actually, no. They said you can keep it, but it is the round robin one. So it's been around the block. It's got a few chips and stuff.
Been
But
around the world and aye.
sometimes
few
it's the
knocks and
advantage
scrapes.
of being last to the party.
That is true.
Is that they go, you know what, that thing's so beaten up, you might as well keep it. So actually, I'm quite grateful. They did say just keep it.
Quite grateful that they sent it to review it all.
But no, it's a nice loco. It's sort of like a 94XX on top and a USA Austerity on the bottom. But genuinely is a really nice locomotive. There's a huge amount of weight to it. A lot of features. We've got the firebox flicker, which is actually a 2-light flicker. So it's got like a duller orange glow and then a really bright white light, which you can kind of toggle between to make it look like, so you have the more dull orange glow when the locomotive's kind of just coasting or just sat, and then you have the white one for when it's working hard, because when you'd open the firebox door on a locomotive that's really working hard, I tell you now, you could get a suntan from the how hot that fire is. Aaron Ville says, interesting, Roger Windsor, about the dead rail using Blinami and battery. I believe it would theoretically work as well with the HM7000 decoder. But in all honesty, I've tended to just use the power bank and just power the track. I've found that's normally all right. Right on track, says Model U crew on the way for you, Jenny. Absolutely looking forward to it, actually. Thank you so much for that. And we will be adding a Model U crew to the 15XX. So hopefully in probably a couple of weeks' time, you might see that up and running. Brian Bell says, memories of the 15XX working Paddington on empty stock. Yeah, if you saw the video, you'll have seen I did go a little bit, kind of a potted history. But they tended to get used for the empty carriage workings, not exclusively, but it's because they're very, very short wheelbase, which meant they could handle some quite tight curves with greatest of ease. And there's a part of me wondering, did they end up working places like Bristol Harbour or some of the curves, if you go down the branch from Lawrence Hill, it went down to a quayside and a cement works. What was the name of that branch? Survived quite late, actually. Worked by class 03 shunters at the end, I believe. But I do wonder whether the 15XX may have been employed there. Latterly, of course, 3 of the 15XXs, when they were withdrawn, there was a lot of life still left in these things. Because, quite frankly, they were only about, 10, 15 years old when they got withdrawn. So the NCB, National Coal Board, bought 3 of them for Coventry Colliery. Peter Joyce says, Jenny, can you please try to convince my lad Jordan to like trains? He's into girls and football.
He must have loved the Women's World Cup.
Trains are cool. And there's lots of... Ooh. Oh, sorry, Topsy. He says it's all right. Yeah, come on now, Jordan. Everybody likes trains. You do like trains, really. And there are a lot of women into trains. It's quite when you go to shows, it's quite an eye opener just how many women are into trains. And
Valley's 56XX has made a very good point. tell him that the trains will take him to the girls and the rugby.
There is that, yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, like, you can be into all those and trains. I mean, there's a lot of people into girls and trains. I mean, I guess there would.
Like you.
Right, okay. Why don't you just tell everybody I'm gay?
I'm sorry, were you keeping it a secret, my wife? My dearest wife?
Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, Peter Jackson Cheadle, he says, Jenny, who makes Topsy Toaster, please? 3B Rail, very kindly sent this. I'm assuming that 3B Rail made Topsy Toaster himself and then sent it, because it really is great. I must admit, so many people have asked about Topsy Toaster that I think that this needs to be a thing. So there you are, business opportunity for somebody to make...
For 3B Rail.
Well, yeah, 3B Rail. Topsy Toasters, get them out there. I think that you would find that this would be a nice little sideline. Valley's 56XX says, I'm sure ironically says, oh my god, you're gay, I had no idea. Yes. Christian Train Spotter says, hello. Hello to you. A degree of lateness is implied.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Thank you, Gandalf.
DJ K666 says, I've been making a 12-ton van. And there's some great kits out there, actually. And Hanning's Rest Mother Railway says, who's gay? Oh, sorry, we're hitting everybody with our gay ray. Actually, if you believe the trolls, and it's like we're sprinkling a bit of gay dust. Oh, is it lovely? Right.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I drag stereotypes kicking and screaming under the wheels of my big rig. Brian Bell says, my wife likes model railways and scratch builds items for me and our grandson. She also purchases locos she likes as well. Oh, that's good. That's good. And that's the thing. What you've got to remember about model railways is it's a very broad church in terms of skills and creativity. And one of the things that we found, in all seriousness, with Great Model Railway Challenge was there's a lot of women into model railways because they really love the creativity. And you have to remember that girls are more likely to like the creativity of making a miniature landscape than they are to go into a football match and watching 22 millionaires kicking a football about. So actually, you're more likely to pull girls if you're into trains. That's my little ramble. B2, what was that?
I heard that too.
Yeah, weird. B2000 RO Toys Channel says, hi Jenny and Zoe, I've been on a Disney Toy Story kick lately. How can I recreate the Western trains from the third film? Well, Hornby did do a movie tie-in. There was a set. I think it was very much aimed at the toy end of the market. But if you have a look at some of the items that are available from the US, they do locomotives like the Jupiter, which is the classic Buster Keaton style 440 American. So you could quite easily make an American sort of Civil War Wild West era model railway quite readily using that kind of equipment. Jerry BVR says, as David Norris, our Irish senator once says, I've been living with straights all my life and they haven't changed me yet. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We've got some stuff to do for the show.
Oh. Jay Pryor says, have no fear, the toaster is here. Yeah, the host with the toast. Yeah, Topsy Toaster likes that. He needs to. I think we need to change the intro for to add him in.
Yeah. Right, Jen. We've had a message from Eric Bray last week, straight after the the Rails Open Day, asking, is today cancelled because Jenny has talked herself into laryngitis on Saturday?
Sadly not. You have to put up with me.
We don't take a day off. So what we've got for the first one, it's on Simon Trains.
Simon Trains. Says, good evening, Jenny and Zoe. Good evening. This offering to the cult of Gronk.
Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Gronk it up!
Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax reasons.
For legal reasons and tax reasons, we must state that this is not a cult. Your mileage may vary.
There's a visit to Guildex in Stafford, the biggest O-Gauge event, and capture some O-Gauge layouts which were on display. Also, if there is an ad placed on this video, don't know how as the channel is not monetized.
It happens sometimes. YouTube will run an advert on anything that's popular, regardless of whether they're giving you any money or not.
Yep, and there it is.
There we go.
There it is. Right, trains, kits, etc. There's a lot of the traditionally for girls hobbies have also been transferable skills and fine motor skills involved as well.
That's true.
Sewing, playing around with beads and making jewellery, all good for modelling. And actually, you find that a lot of women are really quite keen on making trees. I've seen women really get into making some quite fine trees, scenery. At the end of the day, it's like gender is a social construct.
It is. I love the way they've done those signs.
This line actually reminds me a little bit of Baker. Although those gantries over the top there is suggesting more of a kind of Woodhead Electrics. But the brickwork on that is really nice.
This does look lovely.
And also you can see there in the background, homemade back scene, nicely done. Oh, some nice lattice bridge there. It's just been hidden by the suburban coaches there. You just watch.
Jennifer Horton says, I wonder if a gronk is offensive in other language and cultures. Yes. Yes, it is. Australia, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's why we had to change the name of our T-shirt from Gronk It Up to Diesel Shunter Lovers. Otherwise, we weren't allowed to sell it.
Yeah, it's weird, that, isn't it? So this is nice. Is that a pug in the background? I don't think... No, it's not an ex-Lancashire and Yorkshire pug.
I like the lights in that little one that's on the floor.
Oh, US Outline, second-hand yard. The weathering on this is really nice. It's subtle. You look at there. So you look at the... is that an alcove? So a little switcher. Either a General Motors or an Alco, I'm not sure.
Aaron Phil says, if Zoe gets laryngitis, maybe we should have a Gandalf late button. We actually do. We have a button.
Look at
it's
that.
not working at the moment because I've got to recode it.
Yeah, look at that Zippo lighter. I like that.
It is very nice.
Really interesting. But no, the weathering on that, very subtle. And
there's a lot to this, so I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and see what...
Yeah.
Oh.
So
something
next slide, please.
Ooh.
Oh, this great central railway of some description. Oh, the Acura scale O-gauge hoppers. They are very, very nice. Looking forward to... I think they did announce that they were doing another run of the O-gauge HUOs. New Junction is in. I don't know whether he's paying attention at the moment, but we'll say his name 3 times. New Junction, New Junction, New Junction. We need some info on the Acura scale O-gauge stuff.
Look at the size, the sheer vertical scale.
This is what I love about O-gauge. It's got a real heft to it.
Oh my goodness, Valley's 56XX says, I have the original Gronk It Up t-shirt. I went to the Wales-Australia match and had lots of interesting incidents. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
I'm just curious, is it some kind of derogatory...
I believe it's a term for someone who's got disabilities, yes.
Oh, right. So we've got the Metal Air PCAs here, the V-tanks. These were for powder. The reason for the weird shape, if you're wondering, is because they're discharged from the centre and it just helps the powder to kind of settle and all come out. The O-gauge wall wells behind as well look really quite nice. So I think they were Hatton's product, but I mean, that's quite a tight curve. I will put that out there. But for O gauge, that's quite a tight curve. You could imagine the squeal on a real 37 trying to negotiate a curve like that.
In the Royal Navy, a grong is a lady of the night. Oh my god! See, this is the thing. It's like saying fanny pack.
Yeah, can I just, for American viewers, just bear in mind that when you say, I like my fanny pack, well, in the UK, fanny is for a lady's private
Front bottom.
Front bottom, yes. Within Model Railway says it's an unintelligent and callous person, according to the internet.
I thought that was a boggin.
Zebrail says Chicago and Northwestern GM
Oh,
SW12. Right, so we'll just bail from that. Michael Brooks says, did Jennifer answer the title question yet? I'm curious to what she said. Yeah, we were talking about what we needed was to make sure you got expansion gaps. And I'd love to hear actually from anybody who had issues with track expansion causing buckling of track.
Here's the box file. This is what I was trying to find, because they mentioned there was a box file layout in O gauge.
Right. So, well, this isn't it.
No, it's about to come up.
There we go. So that is tiny.
Yeah.
Foxable Brewery in O gauge. See, I'd find it quite tedious operating this for a weekend. I'm sorry, but I would. But yeah, that's an O gauge model in a box file. So if you're really starved of space, it does give some great modelling opportunities.
Rick Morley says, why do I want to dye my hair all of a sudden?
I do love a Gronk. 51202. Oh, that is nice. And look at the down at heel track with the grass. That's some really good static grass work there. And I'm guessing it's using a sector plate to change the track. So you don't even need expensive points.
This is actually really nice. It looks like you're looking down into another world.
Yeah. Jennifer Horton says at Toten we call them Jockos instead of Gronks. Yeah, I've heard Jockos as well as a nickname.
I did see a T-shirt one time. It just said, "It's not a Jinty, it's a Jocko."
Oh, okay. Well, that's us told. Naive Gauge says Urban Dictionary says a person that is totally lacking in fashion sense, motor skills, and/or social skills.
And
usually a total moron.
And
An extremely unpleasant person or an unwanted guest. Flying with Chairman 1, yeah, the O gauge in a suitcase. We've saw that. It was really quite nice. I like that little shunter at the front there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was really, really great. Let's make tracks as my tracks buckled as I dried my ballast in the sun. The module caught it just in time to prevent permanent damage. You've got to be so careful. I think in the heat, track expansion is the biggest issue. You've got to leave those expansion gaps. Make sure you know, if you're laying track on a super hot day, then actually you don't need to leave as big an expansion gap as if you were laying it on a really cold day.
I will be back in a moment.
Oh, you're right.
I need to go and check on how my computer's doing. I've been trying to do some mods so that it will actually work, and then I might be able to make a thumbnail in less than an hour and a half.
Topsy Toaster says, yeah.
Wiggle it just a little
Mark
bit.
Wilson asks, why Jocko? I don't know.
Was it a Scottish
I
variant?
don't know, to be honest. I know that Gronks were
It's
called...
because it's
the
sound.
sound they make, because they sort of sound like Gronk, 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 Gronk. But some of the nicknames, you really have to be in the loop to figure out what on earth they mean. Values 56XX says, this is going back to tracks, says, don't use pins, just PVA it. Go for it painting says, hello. And whilst you are late, you've escaped the Gandalf, because Gandalf has gone to...
Cover is never late to the wagons,
might not be coming.
nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. I'm not sure whether that came through, but Gandalf just shouted that up. Stephen McLay says, yes, I had track that buckled in the garage layout in summer about 30 years ago. And interestingly enough, my 00 gauge garden railway, I did have an issue with expansion and contraction on the main curve. And it didn't buckle the track, but what it did do was it would slide the track from side to side as things moved. And it actually ripped the like shed roofing. What do you call it? The oh, my brain's going. I cannot feel the word Mars bar. The roofing felt. There we are. We got there in the end. And I actually started to rip that along the line of the track, and then that led to rot getting it in, getting itself installed. John JMC, our guru of sound, big hello to you. Says, never had any track problems with heat. Yeah, you shouldn't have track problems as long as you take account of expansion. And soldering all your track together to make one big solid loop, don't do it, because you will find that the track will find a way of expanding, so you'll get somewhere something will break. And that's just what will happen. Another thing as well, I will say, and this is from personal experience, ABC sections. Now, the little gaps that you put in for ABC sections, just bear in mind that in incredibly hot weather, if the gap is not sufficiently big, then your layout, as the track expands, will effectively use that gap as an expansion gap. And at some point, the rails will start to touch again. And your ABC section will stop working properly. And in the past, we have had that up here. Now, I did widen the gaps ever so slightly, and that fixed the issue. But that is something else to think about if you've got ABC sections. That track expansion can cause that to build up. Now,
you wouldn't believe it, Jen, but downstairs is cool.
Oh, I can believe that, because all the hot air's risen.
Yeah.
So, we've got the is the extractor fan on, or was that noise it breaking?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, and Valley's 56XX, it's absolutely true. It's a prototypical mine. The real thing can get warped. Trains, kits, etc. It says, at the 12-inch gauge railway I go to, someone worked out how much longer our linelet gets depending on the heat. That person is weirdly obsessive. No, but it's a formula. Materials expand by a certain amount in a certain heat, in a certain pressure.
There's equations that cover this.
Yes, and that's how they know how much of an expansion gap to leave. Occasionally, though, either the weather gets far hotter than expected, or they just make a bit of a mess. And the real railway runs out of expansion room, and that's where you get snaking track can creep in. Now, what's interesting is that if you have enough blunt force, you can actually tame expansion. And things like pre-stressed steel is a way of doing it. Now, when they lay a continuous welded track, one of the things they do is they use huge hydraulic like pincer things, and they pre-stretch the track. So they apply, you're talking probably thousands of tons of force to stretch the track, and then they fix it down. And because it's pre-stressed, when the weather gets hot, all that does is release the stress, so that it doesn't actually expand. I mean, there is a limit to this. They reach the point where it will start to expand. But if you're wondering about how they lay continuous welded track, now it does have expansion gaps probably every half a mile or so, but that's how they do it.
So, for those of you who are not familiar, this is Secret Anorak, and he's asked if anyone's ever seen a Class 66 in King's Cross Station before.
Yeah.
Now you have.
So what was it pulling? Do they say what it was pulling?
Nope. He's come in and like, hey!
Nice.
So, not the Secret Anorak anymore, because now we've seen you.
Yeah, now, as Topsy Toaster says, Yeah. Topsy Toaster says, we know what you look like now. So if you see Secret Anorak, say, hello, Secret Anorak.
You've lost your space now, have you?
Within Model Railway says, our railway line has always been getting out of order in hot weather due to buckled rails. Yeah, one of the things that on the real railway they sometimes do, and bear in mind, this would only really work on a garden railway. It's about protecting the track from solar heat, direct solar energy, and they actually paint it white because it then absorbs less heat from the sun. And you sometimes see in point work, you think, why have they painted all the track white?
Values 56XX just says, stick a fan up your chimney. That could be taken in so many ways.
Yeah, that sounds like a prelude to some kind of bare-knuckle fist fight in a bar. John JMC, our guru of sound, says they are the best chocolate bar. I think I've
What are we talking about chocolate bars in
I
this
don't
heat
know,
for?
I've missed it. Mark Wilson says, team expansion, you need to put that on a t-shirt. GR Railway says, if the track temperature gets over 37 degrees centigrade, they will stop trains. Yeah, because if there is a video on YouTube, I think it was done in Australia, of a commuter train, and it comes round a corner, and there's actually buckling of the track caused by heat. Now, bear in mind, this train's probably doing about 50 miles an hour. So even though the driver does slam on the brakes, it hits the buckled track. And it did stay on the track, but it was a very rough ride, because you can imagine the buckled track, so that it buckles into an S shape, very tight S shape. And the train hit this, and you can see from the camera that it really shoves it from side to side. And it must have been quite an experience for people on board. But it just shows the real risks of buckled track in the heat. Can derail trains and cause a huge amount of... Wait, why are you staring at me like that?
I have to say, Jen, that we were worried earlier on whether we'd be able to do a good show tonight given the heat.
Uh-huh.
You have not stopped since we started. You're on a roll, and it's great to see.
I used to do talk radio. What can I say?
No, it's just that it's great to see that you're on a roll.
Oh my word, thank you so much. Robert Steers MD is very generously given $9.99 on the super chat and says, my apologies to you two and the wizard for being late. Oh, don't worry about
A
it.
Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Oh, hold on. Topsy Toaster says thanks, Gandalf, as well.
You're welcome.
John JMC, our guru of sound, says, I've seen that video. It's mad how much the rail flexed sideways. Yeah, and I'll be honest, there was probably a brief moment where the driver thought, ooh, we could do with one of those little hanging up air fresheners in here. Because I have just made a mess.
So, John, next up we have, Jen, a video from a newcomer to YouTube called NGen.
So this is it says, hi Jenny and Zoe. Hello NGen.
Hello. Welcome to YouTube.
It says, I'm new to YouTube, but will be uploading videos mainly featuring 5-inch gauge railways. Interesting. Here is a short video of A4 Sir Nigel Gresley running at Gilling East, driven by someone you might know. Could this possibly be John JMC, our guru of sound?
We'll find out in a second.
Okay.
So, are we ready?
Yeah, and we've been to Gilling, haven't we? So,
Buttons are buttons.
I have.
There we go.
So this is our guru of sound.
My goodness, that is a very blue locomotive. What a nice day for filming as well.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, we've been there. It's a lovely place. If you do get a chance to go to Gilling, to the 5-inch gauge railway, it's well worth it. You've got a lot of wheel slip there. You've got to be careful because you'll...
I recognise this place.
Yeah, you'll wear your flanges out.
Hey.
Raymond
I have no
Legs.
idea why that would be a wahey moment, but you know.
Oh, interesting. All right, here we are. David, it's my mother railway says Tillig Till 85139 is a HO expansion track product sold by Kerno and others. Oh, I must look into that actually.
That's a hell of a long train.
It is actually. Oh, looks to be a bit of moisture on the ground. I think they've got a greasy railhead, which is probably why that's slipping.
You've got a greasy railhead.
The whole system's got a greasy railhead.
Does this elevator conspiracy go right to the top?
There we are. John JMC, our guru of sound, says, very wet track, uphill, and getting that lot started on the corner.
Yeah, I'll bet that was not the best.
Yeah, Sarah Davis' flange wear is dangerous. Yeah,
Yes, it is.
When you see like that volcanic
That was lovely, thank you.
spinning of wheels, and do bear in mind that that is, you've got metal on metal, and you will wear out. Certainly, you can get all sorts of issues like gauge corner cracking on the rail, but you'll wear out the steel tyres on the wheels very quickly. Harry Sedgwick says the Kingscale LNER Class A4 number 6, 60,007 tonnage gross, a lovely locomotive. Oh my word! Thank you so much, Nick at Bletchton High Level.
Oh.
Very, very kindly donated £4.99. Says so you can buy a loaf of BR bread to put in that toaster. Oh, Topsy Toaster is really excited. He's twiddling his browning knob with anticipation. Yeah, we really should actually get the Topsy Toaster into action. Maybe when it's a bit cooler.
Yeah.
1701, the filed flyer. I can imagine some kind of like Vic Reeves-esque leg rubbing here. Says, I love a bit of flange, squeal me.
So, Jen, next up we have from Zantec. My itinerary is now complete for the main run. Here we have JR class EF210, a fictive TOPS 210 317, as there was a class 210 DEMU, pulling a rake of Mark III coaches on a Caledonian service.
Uh-huh.
So let's have a look at this.
Okay, you want to get us
Can't
up and
find
running?
where's the mouse gone? There it is.
And yeah, naive gauge. Those are lovely Stanier coaches.
And go for it. Beep beep.
DJK 666 says you need a styrofoam cup of BR buffet car tea as well. Oh,
That's
do you remember?
a bit of speed
Do you
there.
remember those styrofoam cups? They were
Yes, I
great
do.
for holding hot liquids because you didn't burn your hand. But people used to like rip them apart and spread the little bits of polystyrene everywhere, which was a bit. I used to hate that. People used to bite a chunk out of it. Oh, luckily they don't use them anymore because they were horrible for the environment.
Yes, they were.
Raymond
Well,
Legg
there
says,
we go. Thank you very much, Stantec.
absolutely, thank you so much. Raymond Legg says, I've already worn out my flanges. Should have told me that earlier. Oh, Harris says, I'm eating cookie dough ice cream. Oh,
I've been out already. I'm not going out
I
again.
love
I'm
cookie
sorry.
dough. No, I love cookie dough ice cream, but as a lactose intolerant, it does not love me. I can take very small amounts of milk if it's skimmed milk, and hard cheeses are okay, but I love that one that looks like a Swiss roll. Oh, but it does not like me.
Arctic roll.
Well, it's not. What's it like?
La roulade. Oh, the cheese.
Yes!
I thought you were about ice cream still.
No, you wally brain. We were on cheese.
What kind of cheese is in Arctic roll?
I was wondering what the hell you were laughing
Frozen
at.
cheese. That's
Yeah.
what's in there.
And look, Topsy Toasty is twisting his browning knob at you in derision.
So, Charlie sent a message saying, thank you both very much for showing the sketches. Wasn't able to watch live, but he really appreciated all the kind comments from everyone who left messages.
Oh, excellent, excellent. This is from
And he got a few photos of the Northern Lights,
Oh,
which is always worth
yeah.
having a look
If
at.
you ever see the Northern, I mean, it's a misnomer that you have to go up to the
Yeah.
to the Arctic Circle for the Northern Lights. But
There's the Big Dipper.
yeah.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid because you can't see it here.
Oh, I see it all the time. It's really common round our way.
No, it isn't, because
It is.
every time I look up, it's cloudy.
Yeah, well, you're a wally brain. It doesn't go outside much.
Look at that.
That is lovely. I mean, not really train related, but certainly. Actually, I mean, for a backseat.
I'm just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, for a backseat.
Oh,
And
that-
like Northern
yeah.
Lights, I have seen them on several occasions, as far south as sort of Birmingham.
Oh, look at that.
It's caused by
It's particle breakup in the atmosphere.
no, it's charged particles that have come off the sun, that then skip on the Earth's atmosphere and cause excitement of air molecules.
Yes and no. Excitement does do some of it, but particle breakup in the upper atmosphere as well. When there's a lot of high-speed particles, they hit, they react, they smash, and other particles come off with an explosion of light.
Somebody said try vegan Ben & Jerry's. I'm not so keen on the vegan.
I don't
one. It's
like
a bit
Ben and
bland.
Jerry's.
Peachy TT120 says, sorry guys, gotta go.
I don't want to get political, but they don't sell in Israel.
Don't worry, Peachy TT120 says, he says his videos don't make themselves. Oh, I wish videos did make themselves. It would make things so much easier. Mousehole Rail says, wow, I want to see the Northern Lights. We do occasionally get them as far north as here.
Okay, we have something I think you'll like here.
Oh,
Hi Zoe and Jenny, says Gary Rawson. Thank you for showing my video on your last live stream a few weeks back.
You're welcome.
It's really nice to hear your comments and see it being shown elsewhere. So now he sent us some photos of his LNS and LNER stock. But look at the quality of the lighting here.
Oh, this is nice lighting.
Yes.
And it's something that we've said quite a lot, is that lighting is very, very important to get the best out of your model. Sometimes people say, oh, look at that, isn't that really great modelling? Oh, I could never be that good. And what you've got to think is actually, lighting is quite a big deal with a lot of these.
That is so nice.
And, a top tip for if you've got like a small model railway that is mobile to some degree, or a diorama, take your photographs outdoors, because natural light...
It's the wrong button, huh?
Yeah, you have. Natural light really does work wonders. And it's one of the reasons that I've got a little photographic plank. You occasionally see it or the pictures from it turn up. And when I'm in the mood, I take it up and put it on the roof of the car in a lay-by up on the moors. And, a super... no, that's a Q6. Yeah, that's a Q6. Because it's got 2 cylinders. The Q7 is the 3-cylindered version. Which...
Putting a layout outside completely changes how it looks, says DJK666. Absolutely right. It's like seeing it for the first time again.
Yeah, and the thing, if you go to a model railway exhibition with rubbish lighting, have a look at how some of the layouts that you've seen in magazines look if taken in unfavourable light. And then you suddenly realise that actually lighting is probably the key. And up here we've got a lot of light, and we can turn on a lot more lights. And when I do filming, I have 3 big powerful LED spots, and it really transforms the lighting. But we've got a Great Central Railway A5 on the screen. Simon Trains Model Railway showcases Ken Patterson does wonderful outdoor photography with models. Yeah,
he really does.
He does. And I've learned so much from Ken Patterson, to the point where we did a whole photo shoot with Myneth Tatis for Railway Modeler. We did it outdoors, up on the moors, balanced on the roof of the car for the light and for the natural background. And I learned all that from talking with Ken Patterson and looking at his work. Definitely. Well worth checking out Ken Patterson and the What's Neat This Week crew. If you're there, do say hello to them and say that Jenny sends her best.
We'll have one more for these.
Why, what time is it?
Well, we've only got 15 minutes left, and I want to show some more videos, you see.
Okay.
So, if you press the button.
These are really nice. So we've
They're
got
amazing.
Stanya 8F. That is a lovely viaduct. Just, do you have to bring them up one at a time? You can't...
Yeah, that's why I have to say we can only have so many. But that is wonderful.
The ruined cottage actually is really quite a nice touch down there. Something that you tend to see a lot out in the countryside. For some reason, I don't know whether they're houses that have burnt down and nobody's resuscitated them, or whether they've just been left abandoned. But there's something about decay and abandonment.
Richard Tedeschi says, hope you didn't drive off with your layout still on your roof.
No, we did. Although we got accused of hope you're not fly tipping that, and it's like, it's a model railway. Are you seriously that stupid that you think we drive up here, put it on the roof of the car?
He stopped in the middle of a very thin road and blocked traffic so they could try and tell us off. Yes, he was that stupid.
And it's like, You see how we've put it on the roof of the car and we're taking photographs of it? That should have been the giveaway.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. How good is that?
Ruben Ashwell says, oh yeah, before the show ends, my birthday is on Saturday. Happy birthday to you. Squash tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. And Grumpy's train set says, hi all, sorry I'm late.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Is that rain?
I hope so. I hope so.
I'm going to check up on that actually.
So we've got another one here from Peter Jackson and Cheadle Heath, who says, this shortish video of some locos stabled around Loughborough Station on the GCR for your delectation and consideration for showing on Monday Club.
It has been raining.
How would we not consider this? How
So,
could we not?
right.
Oh, this looks good.
Oh, yeah. So
This looks wonderful.
So that's a class 24 there. You can see that it's the way you can tell a class 24. Well, some class 24s. The surviving class 24s, because all the surviving class 24s are skinheads, is they don't have that box on the top of the cab roof. That's a class 25 one, I believe. Class 37 there, with a 31 just out of shot to the right and a class 50 behind it. That's,
I do like the little weird chevrons on these ones.
Rail freight triple grey with, I don't know off by heart whether it's petroleum sector, construction sector or steel sector.
So skip through to 147, okay.
Ooh. Don't know what that one is at the back. Is that a 45 or something? Oh! Gronk it up!
Gronk it up! Gronk it up!
Look at the number 13101. What's the deal there? It's not a class 13. It's pretending to be a class 13, but it's lost half of its
It's in disguise.
And that's a Stanier 8F. I do love a good Stanier 8F. I must dig mine out and get it running again. With a 33? Is that a 33 or a 20? No, I'm going to say 33 because it's got the high level pipes. Train load metals, says Richard Knowles. Thanks for that.
Please remember,
Class
the
24
Gronk
is
cult
the
is not a cult. For legal and tax purposes, we must tell you it is not a cult. Your
Ham
mileage may
Shackleton.
vary.
Can I say Ham Shackleton says, raining in Warrington, temperatures dropped so much I put a jumper on. I'm jealous. Oh, now there's interesting. There's that's a lovely crane. That's very similar to the ones that we've got running.
Thanks for coming along, Clive. Take care and have a great night.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Also, we've had another birthday.
Have we?
Yes, I don't know where it's gone. Richard Swirsky says it was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you, squash tomatoes and stew, bread and butter like a monkey,
and Jack like her too. So
hey.
that's oh look, a little lamp hut. That's just like the one that Backman Scene
That's not a lamp hut, that's Doctor's TARDIS in disguise.
And there's, I recognise these because these have been done by Scenecraft as models. Really, really nice. So thank you for sharing that with us. That was
wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. Push pull fitted DJK666. There's the 33 is the 33 one. Clive has Kobold has had to go, but look, you take care. It's great to have your company. Naive Gauge asks, are there models of the 8Fs that were moved overseas? You know, I don't know. I don't think so, unless Hornby have produced one. Hornby 00 definitely didn't. Wren, I don't believe, did. But you would have to check something like the Model Rail database, which gives a listing of every single model that's ever been created, and see whether it does list one. Now, there's a little nagging thought in the back of my mind which suggests that there could have been one of the Turkish ones done by Hornby, but I'm not entirely sure.
Next up, we have from Mousehole Rail, a video that he took on his birthday, the 9th of September.
Ooh.
So, happy birthday to you, squash tomatoes and stew, bread and butter in the gutter, happy birthday to you. Oh wow, look at the very muted colours.
Topsy Toaster says happy birthday as well. Yeah,
I've seen this modelled a few times, this muted colour style, on a few layouts, and they really stand out compared to other layouts when you see them in exhibitions.
Yeah, it's like when you. I suppose it's. I mean, it's an interesting point, but a lot of photographs and like cine film and stuff, they have this slightly muted, washed out colour effect, and it kind of creates this notion that the past was grainier. It wasn't, and it's quite interesting. If you film modern stuff with a period cine camera, you get footage that looks like it came out of the 70s or early 80s.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of it's down to the camera equipment, but that's how, the record of what we see things as.
We've got a lot of birthdays in September, it seems.
Yeah,
Harris
it's yours as well.
All the best people have their birthdays in September.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Happy birthday to you, squash tomatoes and stew, bread and butter.
Act like the cupboard
in the
monkey,
gutter.
and you smell like her too.
Happy birthday to you. So there you go,
She
Harris.
does wear
Happy
perfume,
birthday.
don't worry about it. Anybody had stinking Bishop cheese?
Look at
Is Raymond
that.
like, oh, is that like the stinkiest cheese known to man? Oh god, there's getting a bit of clag up there. See, I know the terminology. Oh, look at that. We're pretending to be steam locomotives. Choo choo. Look at me, I'm a kettle. Yeah. Anybody want a cup of tea?
Related comment, the past wasn't actually in black and white. You take that back.
Thank you
Some
so
of
much
us couldn't
for that.
afford colour till 1994.
Yeah. Mousehole Rail says I use a DSLR camera to film my videos.
DSLR is good. We have one more video.
Oh, and then we're completely up to date.
Yes.
Wow, now there's a turn up.
Peter Chitty says, if you're showing videos today, here's a new one. Okay.
Okay. Oh, not Lobia Model World. Big hello to you, Les. Says late to the party.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks,
Okay.
Gandalf. So
This
is...
looks special.
Oh, Hornby TT120 Diorama Challenge now complete.
Yeah, this looks
This is something
incredibly
that-
special. We need to see this. If you could.
Yeah. So might be a bit of talkiness in this. So, but this looks really quite interesting.
Yeah. This
We
is
need to
someone
build
who's-
something with the TT that we got. We've got.
We
to-
do. We just haven't had a minute. That's our biggest issue.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Oh, that was good. That
There's
was
some
good.
great effects that you can buy, like the welding and stuff.
Yeah.
Naive Gauge says, any advice on getting back into working on the railway after the summer season? I don't know, just like take it easy. And one of the
I'm going
things,
to jump into where we can see a little
one
bit
of the
closer
things
up.
would be
That
to
is a
have a
hell of
think
a
about
design.
how you can make your railway room better able to withstand changes in temperature. Insulation is the key, and ventilation.
He's done amazing
that
work
is
here.
nice.
Spa
So
heritage. Yes, this is something I was talking about on my vlog.
Yeah,
Having a heritage railway so you can run whenever you want, and no one can say, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
out of context." No, it's heritage.
hey, look, is that a Cortina?
This
Is that
is
a Mark
wonderful.
5 or a Mark 4 Cortina?
This
Nice.
is just. Oh my goodness.
Some really good stuff on this,
Yeah.
and it shows you can do a lot in a small space.
Look at
I love the
that.
flowers. Look at those flowers.
Oh,
They-
this
they-
is just
They
spectacular.
really do look good.
You see, I do love TT120. There's a lot that you can do with it in the space that it gives you.
Mike Lane TT120 says, any chance of a mention of my new Nighthawk A3 video out on YouTube tomorrow? Indeed.
Check out Mike Lane TT120's YouTube channel tomorrow, where he's got a new video on the Nighthawk A3.
Those flowers are lovely.
This is so good.
Really, really nice. And you know, you can really add some colour to a scene with things like flower beds like that. And you know, if not on a station platform, you can do them on like in gardens. But also bear in mind that back in the day, a lot of signalmen used to have a little garden plot that they'd sort of dig into the side of the like the cutting or the embankment.
Yeah.
And it wasn't uncommon for them to have like little flower gardens or growing vegetables as well.
For everyone who said that there wasn't a lot available on TT120, I think we've just seen here that that's not true.
And can I just say as well, West Hill Wagon Works have a very extensive TT range as well.
I love what Donkitz has said as well. Accurately modelling a heritage railway with all the stuff that they typically have just lying around would make a fascinating subject. Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, that looks like a photo
Look
of
at
the real
that.
place.
That is
This
really
is
nice.
so good. Oh my goodness, guy. You've done amazing work. Ooh.
So you can remove that to get access to the inside.
Did you see that it's got a little bit of felt on it?
Ah. Oh, nice.
Oh, it's not felt.
Oh, it's plug and play.
Yes.
So the light. Ah, that is a really great idea. So you can remove buildings without having to worry about lots of wires and
That
stuff.
is so clever.
Harris says, right, bye then, maybe back next Monday. Well, don't forget that we are running the Win Yourself a GWR liveried Pine Green new tooled Hornby HST set. RRP, I think it's something like £369. We're doing that as a
There's
giveaway.
your New Junction guy.
Hey,
and a
New
little dog
Junction
as well.
There you are, New Junction with his dog. Oh, get down, Shep. I don't know what the dog's called, to be honest, but yeah. So we're going to be doing that. You can get the first question is already up and pinned in the Facebook Monday Club with Jenny Kirk group. Check out the TMC Facebook page and like
Jenny,
and
you're
follow
putting
that.
stuff in a bin.
Oh, yes!
This is so good.
Fame and fortune. And I'm guessing that's another YouTuber,
I think. Oh, what's her name? What's the woman that was the judge?
Kathy Miller.
Kathy Millett.
Yeah.
That was it. He mentioned you on a link earlier on. Yeah, it's Kathy Millett.
And don't forget the full range of figures available from Model U and in multiple scales as well. Anything from N gauge up to 1/12, I believe they said.
Oh man.
So there's
this
some
is
great
so
options
well done.
for getting some figures there. And if you see them at a show, then you can get yourself scanned and put in a model.
I'd like to think this is going to win the Diorama contest in TT120
I just
magazine.
misread James Petts' proper comment as I approve of strippers.
Stripes, not strippers.
Yeah, stripes. I'm sorry, James, but I misread
Oh
that
my goodness.
as I approve of strippers, and I thought that's most
Oh my
unlike
goodness!
James.
Look at the. Oh, it looks.
That is
real.
nice, and the ash and the grime and the oil stains really do work well, actually. There.
You know what? This has been well worth it.
John Walters, big hello to you. Great to see you. I hope I find you well.
Right, guys, I believe we're coming up to the end of the show.
So
okay, we're going to end now.
But
guys, this is
check out the full video. There's
Yeah,
some great
it's 19
stuff.
minutes and it's well worth it. Clearly, well worth it.
And Let's Make Tracks talks you through the build as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Valley's 56XX says, I approve of strippers. Ben Tiller asks, now where is Ollie in his permanent way gear?
That was so well done. Oh my goodness. Good luck in the contest.
Absolutely. Sarah Davies says, does James Petts approve of stripes or strippers? I think it's stripes. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that James Petts does stripes, but not strippers. Unless he's a paint stripper and he's doing some decorating.
Yeah, you could always say that.
Yeah, oh, Nitromorse.
It's only your dirty mind that was thinking of the second one.
James Petts says Nitromorse. Yes, Nitromorse is your friend.
Okay.
Yes, don't drink it, though. So, we're coming to Blooming Egg. That's gone quick.
Like I said, you were worried.
Topsy Toaster says it's gone quick as well. The host with the toast, Topsy Toaster, courtesy of 3B Rail. And so, 3B Rail, you could make a bit of cash actually by doing these as a bespoke item. Because, we've got water going everywhere from your thingy. It's a bit leaky.
From me thingy?
Yeah, it's a bit leaky. Your thingy's leaking. You
You're
should
leaking.
get a cork put in it.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. But like I was saying earlier on, Jen, you were worried that we wouldn't be able to make a good show because of the heat, but you have been
We've
on
managed
form
it.
tonight. You have actually done a great show.
And see, I always think I just stink up the airwaves, but
No, you don't.
But no, it's been great having you all aboard. James Pett says, I love your toaster. Well, thank you, but don't thank me. Thank 3B Rail. And I think 3B Rail, if you were minded to, you could take orders for these. And do let us know if you do, because then we'll say, and if you like Topsy Toaster, you could
Get
your
all
own.
of his friends. Collect them all.
Yes. I think it's only a matter of time before Topsy's pals start turning up on the market.
Yeah.
I think actually, I want to take Topsy Toaster to Getz. We're going to be at Getz, both myself and the Cupboard Monkey.
Am I?
Yes, you are coming. I'm not filming my own smegging videos.
This is why she invites me to places.
So I'm going to bring Topsy Toaster, and maybe we'll have some toast whilst we're there. I don't know where. Do we have to
challenge?
Do we have to get Topsy Toaster pat tested to plug him in?
Probably, yeah.
I don't, sometimes it's like, well, if we don't ask, then nobody's going to complain.
That is true. We've had a question. Richard Swiderski says, where can I see the TT120 Dioramas Challenge? It's in the Hornby's TT120 Club magazine.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up on their website or social media as well.
Yeah, I think check out the social media. I'm sure they will have mentioned it. But yeah, it's a club thing. Walter Hope Valley Railway Enthusiast says, yes, I'll be at Getz. And I do have, I think it's about 4 of the Monday Club wagons left, but hot off the press. In fact, what's that? Yeah. Okay, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll tell him. You smell.
Thanks.
Yeah. Gets burnt down by Crumpet.
Hey.
Valley's 56XX. Everybody loves a bit of crumpet. Oh, actually, hot buttered crumpets. Forget about toast. Oh, Topsy Toast.
Forgets about toast.
Yeah. Our host with the toast is getting his crumpet on. Ooh.
Hey.
Oh, look at that. He's twisting his browning knob in anticipation.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have to say it's time for us to go.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. But yeah, sorry. As I was saying, very quickly, the Monday Club Pal Bricks are now, I've been told, sold out from Rails of Sheffield. So thank you everybody who has bought the Monday Club Pal Bricks. I do have probably about 4 left. So if you catch me at Getz and you really, really want one, then you just get in there quick. So I'm not going to save them. It's not going to be like 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. First come, first served. But there's a few left in my personal stash.
But that's literally all.
Yeah. David, it's my mother always says new items shouldn't need pat testing. It's a good point.
That's true.
SHGP Media says I'll be at Getz both days. Yeah, it's going to be great, and I think we're in the Hilton next door actually, so it's great. We'd get to like fall out of bed and just wander straight in. I think we can.
So if anyone notices a squash loud, it's because Jen fell too far.
And of course, can I just say as well? I've just remembered we've also got the Hornby Magazine 2023 awards, and it's your opportunity to vote for things like Manufacturer of the Year, Retailer of the Year, and various different models of the year in a number of different categories to do with scale, gauge, and whether it's a locomotive, wagon, or coach.
And YouTuber of the Year.
There is also YouTuber of the Year, and if you only vote for one person, vote for New Junction. But if by some strange reason you can vote for 2, vote for Jenny Kirk. I never win anything.
Jenny, vote
Can
Jen.
I just say?
Vote for Jen.
Vote
for Jen. Vote for Jen.
Yeah, thank you. But I wasn't a popular kid at school. I never won anything. I was always picked last for netball. And it would be lovely one year just to win something. Please, I'll give it back afterwards. But there we are. Anyway, look, you guys take care. And yes, Tim Krinsky, vote for Jenny! Yes, Jenny 2024 for president. Oh, wait a minute, I'm ineligible because I wasn't born in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. Have a great evening, and Game Hammer will of course be happening at 9:15 on the Game Hammer channel.
And don't worry, because your live streaming entertainment will continue. At the end of this stream, you'll be automatically offered the chance to move straight on over to Game Hammer Classic Gaming's Monday night live stream. And what are you going to be doing tonight?
It's the request night, so whatever people ask.
Yeah, so anything goes. A-Train 6 just to wind her up. Actually, no, what about GTA San Andreas? Ooh,
I've never had a request for that.
It's like, am I right in thinking that GTA San Andreas is the most popular game ever on the PS2?
Yes.
So there you have it, people. Oh, and if you fire up the save game where the entire map's unlocked, you can go and ride the train all the way around.
Supposed to stop the train, CJ.
Yeah.
But until next time, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Take care, and bye for now.
Take care, everybody.
The train now departing in the 21:05 service to Game Hammer, stopping at Bolton Trinity Road, Minith Tatis, Tatis Newith, Grove Street Yard, Topsy Toasters Topsy Wonderland, that unnamed layout, Butts Farting, Eindhoven, Pittsburgh somehow, and then on to Game Hammer Classic Gaming. That's the 21:05 service to Game Hammer. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Monday Club for everyone. So come there is lots of fun. And rub your tum and say yum yum. I don't know. don't fart out of your bum. Looking at you, Iron Horse Railways, do get well soon. Good night. Do we have any more ice lollipops? Yes. If one were to make its way up here, I've got to get ready for the other show. You'll have to pick it up when you get downstairs. Oh, okay. Oh. Will you pass me the mouse? Yes. Squeak, squeak. Not that mouse! Where did that come from? Well, when a mummy mouse and a daddy mouse love each other very much. Here, what's your game? Scrabble, that's my idea. Oh, I like a bit of Scrabble.
Now, I did get asked a question about the bright yellow flat wagon that's running behind the 15XX. If anybody's wondering about these are Shunter's match wagons, and these have been produced for some reason only as special commissions. And there's two. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, just take it with you. So they were produced as special commissions. The bright yellow one, which let's see if I can. Oh, you'll be seeing it shortly. That was done as a special commission for Pennine Models back in about 2001. And that was the first one, and that's a Norwich Shunter's match wagon. These were generally used with most famously Class 03s, although I believe that both Class 05 and 04 may also have been seen running with them. But TMC has done 3 more of their own. So there are 4 different Shunter's match wagons that I'm aware of, which you can pick up. But people were wondering about that in the 15XX video. So that yellow and brown wagon immediately behind the 15XX, that's what it is. That's the Pennine Model Special Commission. Over 20 years ago, it must be said, so your only bet for picking it up is second hand, which if you're thinking, oh, but they never come up second hand, that's precisely how I got that one, from the show at Burnley last year. And didn't pay too much for it as well. And yes, John JMC, our guru of sound. Let me just say that again. John JMC, our guru of sound, says, love the line of pugs, thank you very much. That's only a small smattering. I think there's 4 there, although only 2, possibly a little bit of a third, are visible on the screen. And I do love my little puggy poos. I've got every single one that both Daypole and Hornby have ever produced in BR livery, plus a smattering of others. I think I've got 3 LMS ones and a Lancashire and Yorkshire one as well. Absolutely, Flymo Chairman 1. It's quite shocking what Big Clive finds available for sale. Skipsy Trains, you are well late. Did you oversleep? So we're just coming to an end of the stream now, with a little bit of the trains running by. At around 20:15, we're going to be moving on over to the Gamehammer Classic Gaming Anything Goes live stream. And you will be given the opportunity to just shift straight on over it, just give you a prompt, and you can continue with tonight's live stream entertainment if you wish. If you hear any slurpy noises, it's just me eating this lollipop. Skipsy Train says, to be honest, I've been here in the background. They all say that to try and get round Gandalf. For anybody wondering about what's running, on the outermost track we have got the Brighton Atlantic H2 in Southern Railway Monsell Green. This was a previous bargain pickup from, I think it was from TMC, but really lovely livery. I do like the malachite green one as well, but I wasn't able to pick up one of those. And it's actually pulling some a smattering of Southern Railway and Southern Region Bulliard coaches plus a Monsell dining car, which interestingly picked up I think it was the 3rd place award for Hornby in last year's Hornby Magazine Awards. We've also got a standard class 4MT going around with the pair of breakdown cranes. We've got a Bachmann weathered class 25-1 as 25052 on one of the ABC shuttles. A Hellion 25 as D7661 on another one of them. And the third ABC shuttle is taken up by a Hellion class 27 in BR green but with Topsy numbers. We've also got the 15XX from Rapido, which has been running the Torture test track all night. And then we've got a class 44, I think it's Penny Gent, is doing the rounds with a parcels train. And those are the locomotives and trains that are running here on Weiryard tonight. Don't forget that at Gets we will be making a special announcement about the next Monday Club exclusive purchase that you can get for your model railway. So do stay tuned for information on that. I've actually just paid the deposit for them, so it's all go. It's definitely happening. Shaky Hands Shed Model Railway says, fashionably late. You are actually. You've turned up even after Gandalf has moved over to the Gamehammer Classic Gaming Studio. SHGP Media says, is that the usual number of trains running on an evening during the Monday Club? Might be. Shaky Hand Shed Model Railways. We showed your paintings last week, and they were very, very good. Thank you so much for those. We did enjoy seeing those. Good night, Ben Tellett. Ben Tellett says, just voted in the Hornmead Magazine Awards, not telling who I voted for. Although Richard Watson of New Junction will be very happy for your vote. What, you didn't vote for him? Oh. Well, Charlie will be very happy for your vote. Absolutely, Flymuch M1, do please tickle that like button, share the stream to social media, and of course, as always, if you're not already done so, do please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell to be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. And thank you, Valleys56XX, very much appreciated. To be honest, being in the shortlist is an honour in and of itself. It's one of those things people say, oh, well, you know, you didn't win last year. Do you not feel a bit gutted? And it's like, no, because being nominated is, for me, quite a big deal. Just to, you know, to be there hanging with the cool kids. And there's so many great YouTube channels as well, which don't necessarily end up in the nominations list. So I do feel very, very honoured that enough people put my name forward that I ended up in the shortlist. I think it's, what is it, about 8 or 10 YouTubers. You know, just to be in that list, I feel quite humbled. J. Paul Anderson says, Charlie at Chadwick is a very lovely guy, but his layout is getting nowhere. Ooh. So the cupboard monkey is now up and running, so I'm going to be closing down this stream. Thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to tickle the like button and share the stream. You don't really have to do anything, you'll just be automatically prompted to move over to the Gamehammer Classic Gaming if anything goes live stream. But from me and everybody here at Weiryard, until next week, you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.